welcome back to my channel. My name is Lavi and welcome back on Lavi's Crave. If you're my usual subscriber, thank you for tuning in again to watch my videos. And if you're watching my videos for the first time, kindly give me a thumbs up and also click on the subscribe button so I can be encouraged to make more videos for you. Today I'll be telling you about the many things I love about living in Australia. So Australia is a very unique country. It's on the bucket list of most people I know. Everybody wants to visit Australia. So I'll just help you by telling you one of those things, one of those many things I personally love about living in Australia. So at the top of my list is Australian humor. Like an average Australian has a great sense of humor. Australians have an unusual sense of humor. So in the office setting, in social setting, majorly every setting, people share jokes, to diffuse situation, to make people feel accepted. Really, Australians are well known for their sense of humor, and it's a very great part of this beautiful people of Australia. So number 2 on my list is the weather. I love Australian weather. I love Australian weather. So I'll just share with you this joke I read of somewhere. So it's a conversation between a father and his son. So the son says to the dad, "Dad, I'm cold." And dad says, "Go stand in the corner." The son asks, "Why?" And the dad replies, "Because it's 34 degrees over there." So that is an average day in Australia. So it could be cold in one suburb and warm in the next suburb, or maybe cold this hour and warm in the next hour. So Australian weather tends to go a little bit up and down, and sometimes you could have up to 4 seasons in a day. Maybe winter in the morning, summer in the afternoon, spring in the midday, and autumn by the time you're going to bed. So that is Australian weather for you. And in summer, it tends to go as high as 40 degrees. I don't complain. I love warm weather and I don't ever complain. And also, winter in Australia is not as cold as other parts of the world, like in Europe or the countries in North America. And, I had a friend that once came from Canada for a conference in Australia, and he was actually laughing at us like, "Oh, you guys said you were in winter. I can't feel the cold." So that is how good it is winter in Australia. And we don't tend to have a lot of snow. You could find snow in some high mountain areas, specific regions in Australia, not like everywhere. So you have to travel. Actually, we see the sites that snow, we see them as a tourist center here in Australia because it doesn't really snow everywhere. So you could drive up to 2 hours to 3 hours just to visit those mountains where it snows. So I really love Australian weather. It's unpredictable, but it works well for me, and I don't complain. Number 3 on my list is a dress sense. So I love Australians' dress sense. I love the way we dress. Normally they will be dressed in a smart, casual way, and I really love that. I'm not someone that is really into fashion, and when I was back in Nigeria, I couldn't keep up with the fashion sense of Nigerians. So I'm from Nigeria. I'm originally from Nigeria. Nigerians are very fashionistic. So I found the Australian way of dressing to be more suitable for me. You don't need to stress so much to dress up to the office, or even if you're attending a party, just dress so smartly and you'll be good to go. You don't need to spend so much to look so good, to conform to the dress sense here in Australia. And I really love that about the Australian life. So number 5 on my list, the Australian society is a free and fair society. It's a highly multicultural society in Australia, and everyone is given a fair go. You can practice your religion. There's no ban on any religious beliefs you want to practice. You choose what you believe in. There's freedom of speech. It's a very free and fair society. There's equality in most places, and there are laws against discrimination. I really love that about the Australian society. Everyone is really welcome in Australia, and I love that. Number 6 on my list is healthcare. I can never skip that. I'm a registered nurse, and I really appreciate the level of healthcare that we have in Australia. So there's the Medicare for permanent residents and citizens, which is free of charge, virtually free of charge for most days. And I really love that doctors and nurses are well knowledgeable. They know what they're doing. The doctors and nurses give their very best at their job. I really love and appreciate the healthcare standard in Australia. It's very top notch. and I believe is one of the best in the world. Yeah, Australian healthcare system is really well regulated, and yeah, I really love that about Australia as well. So number 7 on my list is a lovely site. You know, Australia is truly a beautiful country, you know, with very lovely vegetation, lovely topography, and also in Australia we have the Great Barrier Reef, which is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, and this attracts so many tourists around the world every year. We have very unusual wildlife in Australia as well. Australia is one of those very few countries where you can find a kangaroo, you can find the emu, you can find the koala, you can find the wallabies. You know, very beautiful country. You can't get enough of Australia. You know, the more you travel, the more you discover how beautiful and how wonderful the topography and the natural scenery in Australia is. Number 8 on the top of my list is the security. Australia is a very safe place to live. The government is using a lot of artificial intelligence, you know, to control security around the country. So Australia is a very safe place to live. You know, you could finish work at 12 o'clock in the night, 1 a.m., you're on your way home. You can be rest assured you're very safe on the street, and this is really good. Like, this is one of the things, you know, security is one of the things, is one of those human needs that we all crave for. And I really love that about Australia. In the same wise, you know, the biosecurity in Australia is something to talk about as well. I know so many people know about Australian Border Patrol. You know, the border is well protected, so people do not bring in things that may likely contaminate the wildlife and the natural resources we have in Australia. And I really love that about Australia. That biodiversity is well protected, biosecurity is well top notch, and I really love that. Number 9 and the last on my list is the political scene. I love the political scene in Australia. You know, like when it's time for voting or time for elections in Australia, like any other normal day, it's a very, you know, serene atmosphere, and you know, people are allowed to contest in elections, and you know, they have a right to be voted for no matter where they're from, you know, so long they are Australian citizens. I love that about Australia. The political scenery is just safe and very inclusive, and I really appreciate that about Australia. And one thing I also appreciate is that the politicians in Australia are very accountable to the people. Like if a politician is doing something that the society is frowning at, the next day you see them resigning from their political post, you know, addressing that particular issue and not just sweeping it under the rug. I really love that as well. So these are the 9 things I love about Australia. So if you live in Australia or you're Australian, please put in the comment section one of the things you love about living in Australia as well, so my other viewers can read and learn from you. Thank you for watching my video today. Please remember to give me a thumbs up and also click on the subscribe button if you're yet to do so, and I'll catch you in my other video. See you next time. Bye bye.